Hello dear YouTubers, and hello guys that you're watching this live on Twitch TV. Thank you very much for coming, and the part number 2 of today's tutorials is the Zerg. And you have voted for the Zerg to be the second, so here we are talking about this fluffy species of bugs that like to eat everything and puke all around the place. So with Heart of the Swarm we have a lot of changes for the Zerg. And it may be more than some people think. Let's start with the basics. So again, we'll do the same style that we've done Terran. We will first discuss the things that come from Wings of Liberty, so the units that were in Wings of Liberty. And if you're wondering, this one huge mama humping Nidus destroyer is a unit that you'll probably get to use in campaign. I'm not sure that it will make its way to multiplayer. So first of all, let's go with the simplest thing of all, the hatchery. So right now, if you have a hatchery, you can do the burrow upgrade, and it's extra important. So if you are thinking about some burrow strategies for the early game, you're correct. You should be thinking about them, and they are very cool. You can make banelings in the first year, you can make, roaches in the first year, and you can evolve burrow and use that before you go to the layer tech. So right now there is a technique I saw somewhere on the internet. I think it has been in our previous news flash. Let me show you. Bum ba bum ba bum. I will burrow my banelings here. I will produce a bunch of very innocent marines, and I will put an overlord bait here. Dum da dum. Move faster, please. Thank you.
By the numbers, boys.
Alright, so the technique I'm going to show you is kinda popular right now on the multiplayer. You just bait people into attacking an overlord, and they are very happy to do so. And boom! See all the pieces and guts fly? See all the bloodstains on the ground? That's awesome. And you don't even lose the overlord. That's the best part of it. That's kind of what Blizzard tries to encourage, more smart type of a play. There may be no banelings, but your opponent will have it in his head. Oh my god, there may be banelings burrowed somewhere here. Maybe he'll use a scan. Maybe he'll leave your overlord alone. Maybe he will just die in a cloud of gas and flame and ace it. So anyway, this is one very important change. The second important change is to our favorite unit from Brood War, the Hydralisk. So as we all know, the Hydralisks are very slow off creep. They move quite fast on creep, but once they move out, they slow down. And once they are slow, they are not so useful. They still have a ton of damage, but forget about escaping from a fight with them. So what you will have right now is an option of a very fun upgrade, and one upgrade is the classic upgrade +1 to range. So right now it is range 6, but also Hydralisks right now have an upgrade that augments their speed of creep. So they have a movement speed of 225, which is the same as Void Rays, and boom, right now they will have a speed of 281. This is still slightly slower than a stalker, for example. Let's get a stalker. Boing. Hello. I'm here in the shadows. Yes, you have been playing Batman too much. So a stalker has a movement speed of 295. It's one of the faster ground units in the game. And right now Hydralisk is very much up to par with that, because it has movement speed only slightly less than that, 281, which is pretty awesome now once we move Hydralisk to the creep. Oh, and right now Hydralisk moves with additional plus 56. So anyway, movement speed for Hydralisk, this is awesome. I haven't seen, to be honest, too many applications of this yet. It's the Hydralisk, I think, is the flesh and bone of a Zerg army. At least it has been in Brood War, and people just love it. It's one of the, you know, most portrayed units of StarCraft 2 of all times. When people talk about the Zerg, what they usually have in mind is not Infestors, not Broodlords, which have been largely popular recently, the Hydralisk. They think about the Hydralisk because it has awesome jaws and it's eating stuff, it shoots bullets shaped like claws. It's, you know, it's the essence of what it means to be a Zerg. And right now, this upgrade is just, you know, great for itself. People are using it in armies where Hydralisks are a part of it, and also kind of it had the effect of Hydralisks being more popular, and people are not afraid of going for them because they don't have the feeling that, oh my god, they will be so useless after they go off creep. No, right now it encourages playing Hydralisks more, and we see people doing that all the time. They just feel that they will be more useful. But then what I would really like to see is some cool strategies that would say, oh, a Hydralisk is faster than X. And even though a Hydralisk doesn't seem like a counter to X, I will make it work. So I haven't seen any of that yet, but we can expect it to happen shortly. So that's moving Hydralisks aside. The Zergling has not changed. You will be able to jump on cliffs with Zerglings, but only in the single player. Moving on, we have our very good unit, the Mutalisk. And the Mutalisks have undergone some changes, some less cosmetical than others. But to start with, the movement speed of Mutalisks have been increased to 4. So if you pay close attention, you will notice they move a lot faster than what they used to move. Well, maybe not a huge lot, but they still move faster. Right now, they are designed to be this very vulnerable, but heavy hitting and also harassing squad. What they also get is a very fast regeneration. It regenerates faster than most Zerg units. Let me show you that. Boink, 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 boink. Thank you very much. Okay, stop. Enough! Stop hitting me. See, 85, 86, 87, 88, etc, etc. So once your Mutalisk line gets into a storm, let's say the first storm, you don't need to worry that, oh my god, I have been hit. Right now all of my Mutas are low health and they are so useless. No, what you do is you just park them somewhere on the map, and they will wait there. They will have a drink, a sandwich, perhaps a Happy Meal, because Zergs also like to enjoy life, but they will regenerate very quickly, and you will be able to reuse them very fast in the game, and they will no longer become useless later on once they get a little bit of damage to their chests. Okay? So I think that covers the Mutalisks. And by the way, the normal regeneration rate in for Zergs in general is around 1 point of health per 3 to 4 seconds. That's more or less what I feel is the rate of regeneration. With Mutalisks, it's 1 point health per 1 point of health per second. That's what I was meaning to say. So that's about the Mutalisks. Now let's go into another unit we all like and some of us just hate it. It's, depending on which side of the barrier you stand on, it's the Infestor. So Infestor have undergone some serious changes, and some of them you already saw in Wings of Liberty in recent patches, but some of them are carried to Heart of the Swarm. So let's take a look at the Infested Terrans. First of all, right now the Infested Terran egg looks different. That's point number 1. Point number 2, the Infested Terran egg only has 70 hit points. It has more hit points than an Infested Terran itself, but it has you know, less hit points in general. Now, another very important thing is the fungal. So let me just show you. Ooh, where are the Marines? Hello, Marines, you sweet victims.
You gonna give me orders?
Okay, oopty-doopty. Gladly, yeah. Dum 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 dum. Please stand in a circle. We have hot dogs for you. So the fungal growth right now has been changed, And as you remember, Fungal Grove initially wasn't even used in StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty because people thought, oh, it's crap. Whoa, who would like a Zerg caster unit? I just want masses. And recently people are playing everything but other units than Infestor. They are playing Infestor specifically for every single matchup because Infestors feel so powerful once people learned how to use them properly. And with Heart of the Swarm, we get a couple of changes to the design of the Infestor. So first of all, the Fungal Grove is going to deal less damage. Initially, it was meant to be a counter against mass stalkers, mass siege tanks, things like that, that just deals more damage to armored units. Now that armored bonus is gone and not going back, probably, but what has the Fungal Grove gained is a longer range. So some people say it's even more imbalanced than it was before. That's of course not true, it's just whining, but it has range 10 and also is a projectile, as you can see. But then it only deals 30 points of damage. It's pretty sick for killing Marines, but then landing a very good Fungal Grove will be more difficult with it being a projectile. I don't assume that people have such high reflexes to just dodge bullets. Yeah, I'm Neo from Matrix, you know. Marines won't have that sort of a skill. Bullet time will not be going back in Heart of the Swarm, but still Fungal Grove will be more difficult to land than previously. What I expect may happen is the projectile speed may get slowered, and yeah, and that's pretty much it. The damage seems to be where it's supposed to be, and yeah, the radius, the range, that all of it kind of fits with where we are currently. Moving on to the next unit, setting Infestor aside, the Ultralisk. Yes! Do I hear people cheering for the Ultralisk? Yes, I do, because it's such a huge bastard. Now, what you will notice is that Ultralisks used to have damage based on, you know, 15 damage plus 24 armored units, etc, etc. That's bullshit. Right now it just deals 35 damage in a splash. Yay! So if we take a bunch of Zerglings, hello, and tell them to attack here, let's see how the Ultra does. Yes, 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 yes. Woohoo! And oh my god, will it be killed by Zerglings? Let's micro. Yes, it was killed by Zerglings because there were just too many. Yeah, that's a general rule. If there are too many enemies, no matter what you do, it's not enough. But what I wanted to say is that the Ultralisk just deals more damage now, no matter what unit type you are. So you don't need to go Ultralisk only for mech. You know, Ultralisk becomes this very useful creature that you have in your Zerg army. Also, what I think, where is it, the Ultralisk Cavern? Yeah, it's here. So what you will be saddened with is the fact that the Ultralisk no longer has this burrow, jump up and do lots of damage upgrade. You can no longer do that for the Ultralisk. I'm sorry guys, but it's no longer here. You can do all other sorts of stuff, but you can no longer upgrade the Ultralisk with that burrow charge. It was an awesome ability, but I think people felt it was too powerful, considering that right now the Zerg get a lot more Zergy feeling, because there are just swarms of Zerg's units. Now think about this. We have Broodlords, and Broodlords, what they are doing, they are spawning 3 units, you know, every once in a while they shoot a couple of Broodlings and they just carry on and you know, bite around the ankles of the opponent. And now we have the Swarm Host, which we'll be discussing in a second, and Swarm Host also, what it does, and spawns like 3 or 4 swarm somethings, swarm little somethings that also deal a lot of damage. And we have the Infestor, which spawns the infested terrain. So right now, Zerg most definitely have the swarmy unit. All of this just keeps flowing and flowing from where it came from, and having the Ultralisk even have that extra edge of burrow charge seemed just too much. We may see a return of that ability yet, but I think we'll be seeing some balance changes alongside with that. Rightio, now to the new units, because the new units are the most, let's say, entertaining. The first one is a guy that is called the Swarm Host, and what it basically does, it burrows, it does a poop, and once it does a poop, it spawns through 2 locusts. Yeah, it's called locusts, I always forget. And locusts don't seem much, but once you create like, let's say 5, not Mutalisk. Yeah, once we have 5 or 6 swarm hosts, then what we can do is do massively, and then a lot of units pop up. A lot of free units. More than that, these units, even though they don't last that much, and that has been reduced significantly since the start of the beta, they shoot things. So let me just demonstrate that to you on a bunch of zealots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's try make these zealots chase what we have here in terms of the swarm hosts. Hello, dear guys. Move and attack. Okay, let's cover and boom and run away. And the great thing, I cannot run. Run away. Oh, but as you can see, the zealots were pretty much cleared off. The reason for that is one, that the swarm somethings, the locusts. Boom. Let's just analyze one of them. The swarm locusts have 65 health points, which is sick for a free unit that doesn't cost you a thing, and also they have 12 damage for free range. That's just slightly less than a roach used to have early on in Wings of Liberty. So swarm locusts deal tons of damage, and a lot of people right now just tend to go swarm host because most of opponents just don't know how to play against that. You need to deal with a mass of free units that deal a lot of damage and don't cost anything. So how are you supposed to counter that effectively without losing your own minerals? And of course, you know, you need to spend minerals for the swarm host, but still it's better because what happens is, if you notice, I just burrow, they make a poop, and I can unburrow and run away. That's how it works. And I can wait while the cooldown regenerates. The cooldown is, I think, let's just check to be sure. I think it's around 30 seconds, but I need to double check that. No, it's 25 seconds, apologies. So once every 25 seconds you just keep spawning free units, and it doesn't require a lot of tactical positioning. You move in front, you do burrow, which takes 2 seconds, and then you unburrow right away and run off while leaving these guys. So it's probably going to become a backbone of Grand-based Zerg army and a viable option instead of going for Broodlords. Okay, one more change I didn't notice. One of your favorite buildings, which is the Spore Crawler. Yeah, the Spore Crawler right now doesn't require a evolution chamber. So if you feel Dark Templars are coming, then what you want to do is a Spore Crawler, obviously, but you don't want to be thinking about building an evolution chamber. No, you can react right away. Rightio, so Swarm Coast covered, all of the units from Wings of Liberty covered, and there is one more huge unknown right now. The Viper. So I think the Viper is going to be one of the coolest units, as all casters are. You know, when you create units like Warhound, which are basically A-click units, that they are not very imaginative, and they often are not used very imaginatively. They just mass themselves and go attack. That's it, especially if they have high range. but casters in every single game, RTS game that you have, when you're dealing with casters, they always produce more entertaining results. So let me tell you what the Viper does. It has a couple of tricks up his sleeve. One of them is consume. We'll just consume some health of our hatchery. We can just suck the blood out of a hatchery to gain more energy. So once you create a swarm, sorry, a Viper, you can suck it up. You can suck it up from a hatchery or lair or one of your other buildings, and you will have almost full energy. Now the usage for a Viper is the same as it always has been. Let me just spawn a Colossi. Oh my god, such a heavy hitting army, which is, you know, it just looks scary, and I wouldn't like to come close to that. So with the Viper, what we can do is to try pull some of these away. Boom! Hello! Ah! Don't leave me there! And you know, right away out of the position, it encourages a lot of micro in the battles and is just generally awesome. Now the other things the Viper does is a little smelly cloud, so
By the numbers, boys.
I sometimes feel like I'm 15 years old still, because this for me is
Aye, aye.
very much like farting on a group of units. But what a Viper does is this sort of a fart, which covers the ground in a smoke, and then the units inside that smoke have their range reduced to. Let me show to you that again. Viper is on E, very intuitive instead of V. Yum 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 yum. It tastes like strawberries, and you taste like chicken. Ah, not enough for the cloud yet. So I imagine with all of these abilities, Viper will be a very frequently used animal in the Zerg army, and is just going to be great. So as you can see right now, every single unit there has only the range of a melee unit, and I can go and attack these poor marines, or no. Anyway, I would be able to go and attack the marines, and they would only be able to shoot in one range. And that's it, guys. That's it for the Zerg. If you have any questions, please post them on the chat, please, very much. And I will try to answer them all. And yeah, that's it for the Zerg. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to subscribe. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't, leave a comment what we could fix, what we could improve for future generations to come that will be watching our shows. You have been watching Jägerist TV. I'm Yegwen, and see you later in the next episode, which will be about my favorite race, which is the Protoss.